Welcome everyone to a new video from underneath my Nissan S13. Check out the last video because I took the car to a small test drive which ended up in a tiny disaster because now I have to change the bearing of the drive shaft and apparently the diff. Since then I actually did some research and I talked to a lot of people and basically everyone is giving me the same advice. Once I start taking the diff down and unbolt everything here, I should actually do a complete overhaul of the subframe. I saw some pictures and I think it looks pretty cool to clean everything up here and paint it, and yeah. I don't know when I will get this car on the road because whenever I do something I end up doing two more things in addition, but I will get there eventually. So for today we're gonna take down the whole subframe and see where we end up. Alright, how do I get the subframe loose? My plan for the moment is to start with the more obvious parts like this exhaust that is completely in the way for the moment. And then work myself up into here to the more hidden parts and screws that need to come loose. I'm really curious if I can undo those bolts here that are sitting nice and tight on this car for more than 30 years now. We will see once we get there, but for the first step, I think it's gonna be the exhaust. That's actually supposed to hold the diff, but for now I'm just gonna use it to keep the exhaust in place and I can take all the screws off one by one without the whole thing falling down. I think this was a good solution because now I can wiggle the whole exhaust, and when you see here it's hanging only in these rubbers, so you just have to wiggle it out.
Shake it, girl. Just
but it's still pretty heavy, so maybe I'm just gonna loosen those bolts also, and then this part is just standing on the support and I only have to wiggle this bit out of these rubbers. Here's one also, and let me show you over there. All right, this is off, and now only this little piece needs to come off. My camera died. Just when I was about to take off the brake calipers. I just quickly give you a heads up. Why did I do this? This part here of the brakes basically stays with the subframe and can come down. And the other part here I zip tied to the coilovers. So the brake lines are still intact. I don't have to drain them, and I also don't have to bleed them later on when I put everything back together. I also put some tape around the bolts, so I'm not going to lose them. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's move on to the next part. So the next thing that has to come loose is this cable here, which is the handbrake cable, and that one goes all the way here around the corner until there. I'm going to undo this bolt so the cable comes a bit loose and I can just unhook it from this little unit. How many people were actually holding on to my drive shaft here? Let's tackle the bolts from the drive shaft. I put the car in gear so it doesn't move, and note to myself, the washer goes on the side of the diff. The bolts from the diff are loose. I just put one back in because I'm a bit afraid that it's just falling down. I'm trying to loosen those two bolts now from the bearing, and then we try to get the whole drive shaft out. Okay, so I'm super happy that it didn't leak. I was expecting some oil to come out, but yeah, let's put a little rubber here so it doesn't start dripping. All the preparations are done. I'm super happy. For me, I think the biggest part was getting the drive shaft down, but everything went super smooth. I'm really excited now to disconnect the diff, and then we get the subframe down. Did I just drop the subframe from underneath my car? This is really huge for me. I would have never thought that I would ever do anything like this. This is the end of this video, guys. I have to digest this a bit and think about what I'm gonna do with it now, like clean it, paint it, whatever. I hope you're as curious as I am where this is going to go. But this is it for now, and I hope I see you in the next one.